Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 8 of the Gus and Dave Sports Podcast. I'm Dave. That's Gus. Y'all know the deal around here. Today was electric for Gus and I. We're posting 2 videos today. We're going to have the podcast, which we're recording now, and we also had a chance to interview Athletic Director of Coastal Carolina, Mr. Chance Miller. So that's going to be a separate video. It's going to come after this one. But we have a pretty big day today. NFL free agency has opened up. Deals left, right, and center. Talking about some NBA. There was a big game that happened the other day. NBA, some NCAA, our good dude, bad dude. And that's going to conclude it, I think. So without further ado, let's jump right into the NFL news.
All right, so we had a lot of NFL news come out this week, like Dave said, regarding free agency. There were a few trades and few non-trades, I should say. Top five on ESPN's top 100 list of the current free agents that have already signed so far with teams. First one was Trey Hendrickson. We just saw that take place the other day. 4 years, $112 million to the Baltimore Ravens. And we will check back in on the Ravens and this deal later. The second big free agency signing was Tyler Linderbaum, leaving the Ravens and going to the Raiders for 3 years, $81 million. The third biggest free agent was Alec Pierce, wide receiver out of Indianapolis, which they re-signed for 4 years, $116 million. He got a payday and a half.
You get
So,
one good season, you get a bag, man.
yeah, I mean, big ups to Alec Pierce. The fourth overall free agent on ESPN's top 100 list was Jalen Phillips, former Dolphin. So great to see this guy get his bag. He signed with the Carolina Panthers, 4 years, $120 million. So he also got a huge payday. And then the fifth overall on ESPN's top 100 free agents this offseason was Odefe Owe. I believe I'm pronouncing his name right. Former Charger defensive end, signs with Dave's Washington Commanders for 4 years, $100 million. Dave, what do you think about that signing?
I mean, we just filled a position we needed.
Yeah.
Commanders have been signing a bunch of people. I think we've been one of the most active teams this since free agency opened up on Monday, and I'm excited about this guy. You're paying this guy a lot. Adam Peters came out after the Terry McLaurin holdout. He said he's learned from this. He's not going to let it happen again, and he's showing that he's throwing money around. We came in with I think like the third most cap space in the league, and we're going to use all of it. So that's what it seems. So excited for this guy.
Let's
I
go.
mean,
And going off of that, all these guys got over almost $100 million. Tyler Linderbaum got 81 for 3 years, which is, I believe, $27.5 million, which is the highest paid center of all time. I think interior lineman of all time. So congratulations to him. This Raiders team is making some moves this offseason. Tyler Linderbaum, Quay Walker from the Green Bay Packers, I believe he got 3 years, about $40 million. And Nakobe Dean from the Philadelphia Eagles, another outside linebacker who got, I believe, around the same deal, 3 years, around $40 million. So they're making a bunch of moves. They have the first overall draft pick this year, which presumably would be Fernando Mendoza. They just traded away Geno Smith as well to the poverty New York Jets. Um, but yeah, and also, obviously, the biggest news this week was definitely the Max Crosby to Baltimore trade for two first round picks has now been canceled, right? Due to Max Crosby not passing a physical or not, living up to the physical that the Baltimore Ravens were looking for. So they decided to call off this deal. Puts the Raiders in kind of a sticky situation. I don't know what this does for their salary cap. I don't know what this does for their, thought process moving forward. If they can get Max Crosby back, maybe restructure his contract a little bit, get some of that money back that they just spent in free agency within the past, 3 or 4 days. Maybe keep him for next year. That would be, awesome for this organization, and that defense would, absolutely be bolstered up. But if they can't, they can ship him off for maybe a similar deal. Maybe not two first round picks because he did fail his physical, but if you can grab a first, a second, maybe a third, I can definitely see them doing that as well because they obviously are in a rebuild stage. They need younger pieces. Max Crosby, I believe, is in his late 20s, if not early 30s. So it's going to be interesting, to see what the Raiders do from here on out. Regarding my team, I do want to step aside and regard my team for a second. The Miami Dolphins reaching out and signing Malik Willis, former Green Bay Packer quarterback, for 3 years, 65.5 million or $67.5 million. Excuse me. Personally, I think it's a pretty good deal. I thought he was actually going to get a lot more. I believe Sam Darnold signed with the Seahawks last offseason for 3 years, $100 million. But granted, he did just lead the Minnesota Vikings the year prior to a 14-win season. So that's fully understandable. Malik Willis, I believe, only had 2 or 3 starts this season for Green Bay when Jordan Love was down, but he did pretty good, and I loved what I saw in Green Bay when he was there. And if he can bring any of that to Miami, any of that fire, because he's a scrambling quarterback, it's kind of what we need. It's what we're looking for, especially with this terrible offensive line that we have. Hopefully, we can make some more offseason moves, free agency, sign some guys, draft some young talent out of the draft to bolster that offensive line. But yeah, I believe the Malik Willis trade was a big upgrade. I don't want to say big upgrade because I do wholeheartedly love Tua Tagovailoa as well. He's been the greatest quarterback in Dolphins history since Dan Marino. I don't want to get my words mixed up there. I almost slipped, but that sliver of success that I saw in 2023 really brought you know joy to me for my football team for the first time in a long time. So sad to see him go, but excited to look forward to the what the future of the Dolphins holds for sure.
Yeah, that Malik Willis, it's a big contract, but I mean, he deserves it. I mean, he balled out the 2 or 3 games he started. I think he came in a few other games once like Love went down, just not starting. But I mean, he balled out. That just shows, hey, you have a good like 5, 6 games in a season, and the team needs a quarterback, man. You can get picked up just
You're
like
gonna
that.
get
And
it
you can
back. You're gonna
get your
get it
bag.
back. And I'm surprised Mac Jones. I don't know what the contract situation looks like for him in San Francisco, whether he's still signed or if he is a free agent. But when Brock Purdy went down this year, Mac Jones came in to San Fran and they ended up the season 13-4. So
Yeah.
he did very good while he was, a fill-in for Brock Purdy. I wonder if he's a free agent. I'm not too sure, but he should be getting a bag this year, if not next year as well. But some of the key free agents that I saw on the top 100 list that are still available are Rasheed Walker, offensive tackle for the Packers. I don't believe he has been to a Pro Bowl or an All Pro, but any kind of huge tackle in this league, especially for the Packers, who have had a pretty good offensive line for basically my entire life, uh, he's definitely going to get a lot of money here soon. Kyler Murray also, he is expected to actually visit with the Vikings today. We're recording this podcast on March 12th, Thursday. Yeah, he's supposed to go visit them this or today, I should say. That would be a very interesting quarterback kind of competition there with JJ McCarthy. Both of them maybe iron sharpens iron, or I don't even know if I should say iron sharpens iron. Maybe bronze sharpens bronze because they're both not very good at the moment, at least. Kyler Murray could go in like Sam Darnold did and lead them to a bunch of wins, but we'll see what happens with that. And then the third best available right now is Jawan Jennings, wide receiver from San Francisco last year. As we know, Mike Evans also just signed a pretty big contract with the 49ers on Monday. That's great I think that's a great move for them. But moving on from Jawan Jennings, he was a young guy. He's also a big body wide receiver that you can just kind of throw the ball up to in the back of the end zone. He's going to come down with it. So it's going to be interesting what kind of payday he gets and where he ends up. I can't really think of any teams off the top of my head that would suit him on the roster. What do you think, Dave?
I mean, I feel like any team would take, I guess, a big receiver like him, but it just comes down to if they feel like that's a need or if they feel like that could be a better guy that fits their style of play better. I mean, also with the 49ers, interesting is Brandon Ayuk. Like, are they releasing him yet? I don't know if they have, or if I mean, I know the Commanders were big on Ayuk and when linking back up with Jay Daniels with their ASU connection. When that would happen, if that will happen, I mean, who knows? I mean, with Mike Evans coming in, you feel like that's now it's just a matter of time of when they're going to release him and let him go and not have 2 big contracts at the receiver spot. I mean, it's interesting. Free agency just started, and I mean, it's the ball's already rolling. Where it makes you excited for football season. It makes you excited for the draft to see how your team wraps it all up, puts a whole team together. Uh, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to the draft. Looking forward to the continued weeks of free agency. See how it goes.
But a few other free agency signings that I thought were pretty interesting. Uh, Coming off Super Bowl MVP, Kenneth Walker goes to the Kansas City Chiefs for 3 years, $43 million. Patrick Mahomes just gets another weapon in the backfield. Kenneth Walker has been very consistent ever since he got drafted out of Michigan State a few years ago. I think this is a great move for them. Pacheco has been, very consistent for them as well, even though he has dealt with a few injuries over the past year or so. Kenneth Walker is going to go in there and obviously be the running back one since Pacheco did end up leaving and going to Detroit just a few days ago. But I think it's, like I said, it's a great move for them. I think the Chiefs have now become uh, obviously they're going to be one of the better teams in the league. Obviously not last year. Mahomes went down. They just had an off season. The AFC West was pretty stacked last year. Besides the Raiders, the Chargers were a playoff team. Obviously, the Broncos won 13 plus games last year. But look out for the Chiefs next year. I think they can definitely make a run for it. Travis Kelce coming back this year as well. They're going to hit well in the draft. They got the first round pick from the Rams this year. They have their own. They're going to have a multitude of draft picks with this upcoming draft. So definitely look out for the Chiefs. I mean, that's pretty much a given if you have Patrick Mahomes in your backfield, and obviously Travis Kelce and the weapons that he has currently. So, and another move I thought was very interesting was Travis Etienne to the Saints for 4 years, $52 million. This kind of just brought the question up of, what's Kamara's future look like? I don't know if they're going to release him. He is getting older in age for a running back. It's sad to see that, running backs these days, once they get over that 28, 29 mark in their career, it seems that it's just like a carousel of teams after that. But for a great running back like Kamara is, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that. But Travis Etienne of the Saints kind of leaves the Jaguars in like a very confused state now because I believe they traded Tank Bigsby to the Philadelphia Eagles midway through the season last year, and now Travis Etienne leaves. So they probably will, attack a running back in the draft if Jeremiah Love can maybe fall to them. That would be a great pickup for them. But another two teams that I'd like to keep an eye out on for in their backfield for sure.
Definitely. One of the free agent moves I liked was Isaiah Likely going to the Giants. I mean, that pains me that he's going in the NFC East, so I'm going to be playing him twice a year. I mean, that guy, coastal guy, and I mean, he balled out for the Ravens. Every single opportunity he got, he came up with it. I mean, I think of that catch that he had against the Steelers on, was it fourth and whatever, third and long, whatever,
Yeah.
and he just came up, got the ball, came down, put him in field goal position just for Tyler Loop to miss it eventually. But I mean, Isaiah, he went out there, he balled out. So him going to the Giants for 3 years, 40 million. Shout out him. He's getting a bag. Coastal guy getting
Definitely.
a bag in the NFL. We don't see that very often.
Let's go.
But yeah, I love that for the Giants. Obviously, Harbaugh loved what he did at the Ravens and wanted to bring him over. There's a lot of players from the Ravens that actually went over to the Giants. But shout out Likely, dude. I want him on the skin or Commanders. We did sign a tight end and Chig Okonowu. I hope I pronounced that right. The Tennessee Titans guy, but I wanted Likely. I wanted Likely. He was my guy.
Yeah, I know. I mean, hey, he's coming to New York. I might cop a jersey. You never know. Those blue Giants jerseys are pretty clean. But I also just wanted to shout out the Titans organization as a whole. I mean, they had a big, big day on Monday, signing Wan'Dale Robinson from the Giants. A lot of the Giants players also left New York to go to Tennessee to follow Brian Daboll, who's now their new offensive coordinator in Tennessee. Wan'Dale got a bag. I believe he got 4 years, $78 million. So shout out to him. John Franklin Myers, defensive tackle from the Denver Broncos, signed there as well. I believe he signed for 3 years, $63 million. And Alontae Taylor, they also picked up a corner uh, for their, secondary. They also had a few other pieces they picked up from New York. I believe they picked up corner Flott. I'm forgetting his first name right now, but they also picked up, like I said, a few other key pieces from the Giants that followed Dayball. So that's going to be very interesting to see what Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans can do next year. I believe that's it. I mean, the Raiders obviously picking up all these guys in free agency. That's going to definitely be something to look forward to in this offseason, see what they do with Max Crosby, to see what they do with the draft. Um, Clint Kubiak's cooking over there, man. I mean, he's gonna have a pretty good not a pretty good team. I shouldn't say that. It will take some time for them to be, obviously contenders in a stacked AFC West, like I just said before. You still have the Broncos, the Chargers, and obviously the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes. It's always going to be a tough time in that division, but the Raiders, they're looking all right. They're looking all right. I'm loving the offseason moves that they made so far.
For sure. Definitely.
But I believe that's all we have of the NFL for right now. I know that there's been multitude more of free agency signings and trades that have already happened, and there's more to come. But yeah, I believe that's it for the NFL, and we're gonna hop right into our hoops news segment.
All right. Some big news coming out of the NBA. I guess recently, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, however many days ago. Bam Adebayo dropped 83 points against the Washington Wizards in Miami. I mean, that must have been electric to be there, witnessing history, the second highest most points in a single game in your home arena. Shout out those fans for being there, bringing the electricity. It was against the Wizards, but I mean, Bam, number two in the list. I mean, Gus, you got anything to say about that? I mean, hats off to him a little bit. 83.
I mean, 83 is 83, I guess. If you actually watch the game, it wasn't very fun to watch whatsoever. I saw that a 43 at half. I was like, oh well, yeah, like let's tune in. Why not? And then I started to see what they were doing in the fourth quarter. Missing free throws, fouling intentionally. Like it just got to be like very extra, in my opinion. Him with the free throws, he shot 43 free throw attempts in this one game, which is absolutely ridiculous amount of free throws. But like you said, 83 is 83. Congrats to him, but I'm definitely taking Kobe's 81 over this 83 any day of the week. I'll take Wilt's 100 over this 83, and that wasn't even documented. So
For sure.
yeah, I don't really don't have much to say about this. I don't really think it was a very ethical 83. And I love ethical ball. Um, yeah, I really just I don't really mess with what happened, but 83 is 83, NBA history. Congrats to Bam.
I agree with you, and I'll save my rant for a little bit later in the pod, so you guys are gonna have to tune in for that. But I mean, I ain't got nothing else on the NBA. If you ain't got nothing, let's just jump straight to this NCAA hoops. We last week in the pod, we Gus and I both picked three games, and we gave our picks. We had UNC versus Duke, Texas Tech versus BYU, and then Michigan State versus Michigan. It was rivalry week in the NCAA. Let's just go through these games. Duke, I mean, they blew them out. They blew UNC out. It was a 17.5 point spread due to Caleb Wilson being out. Let's get that on the record. Caleb Wilson broke his hand, so he wasn't at that game. It was at Duke, and Duke took the cake 76-61. I picked Duke using logic. Gus picked UNC using favoritism and his team. I think if it wasn't UNC, I'm thinking Gus was taking Duke any day of the week against whoever came.
Definitely, definitely. It hurt. It sucks to not see, the top five player in college basketball out there, especially on your favorite team, against an arch rival like Duke. Um, it was a pretty close game, I would say so, without Caleb Wilson for the majority of it. I believe at halftime it was within 10 points, and that surprised me. But yeah, like Dave said, 76-61, 17-point blowout win at Duke. Hate to see it, but we're 1-1 on the season. I mean, I can't really ask for much. We won in Chapel Hill on a buzzer beater three a few months ago, so can't complain. Can't complain.
No. And the next game, Texas Tech at BYU. I picked Texas Tech. Gus picked BYU. BYU took the cake. This is my second time going against BYU. I didn't think they had it in them. That man AJ, hey, he's a baller, dude. I gotta stop going against him. I think, but yeah, BYU won 82-76. I would like to say at halftime, Texas Tech was leading 46-38. Man, I thought I had it in the bag. I kicked my feet up, threw the hands on the head. Said I'm gonna go 2-0 to start. Didn't end that way.
Nope.
Gus, got anything on that game?
I mean, I knew beforehand that JT Toppin, one of the best players in college basketball, he was up for Big 12 Player of the Year, had just gotten hurt about a week or so beforehand. Believe he either tore his Achilles or ACL. So I kind of knew that was a bigger blow to Texas Tech. But BYU was on a little slump beforehand. So, I mean, I didn't hate the pick of Texas Tech in that situation. They still have Chris Anderson, one of the best point guards in the country. Um, but yeah, I mean, they went to BYU. The role player stepped up for BYU, and obviously AJ DeBanza went out there and did his thing, and they came out with a win. So I'm not surprised to say the least because I did pick BYU.
Definitely. And then the last game we picked, Michigan State versus Michigan in Ann Arbor in Michigan. Michigan won 90-80. I believe Gus and I both took Michigan here. I feel like that was the obvious pick. The number two, I think at the time, number 2 or 3 team, at home against a rival. I think we both knew what was going to happen in that, and Michigan took the win.
Definitely. I mean, yeah, that was pretty self-explanatory. Michigan State was coming off a huge win at Purdue. I believe the week before, me and Dave had also picked Purdue to win that game against Michigan State. They came out and proved us wrong, but Michigan the week before, I believe, had also played Duke at a neutral site and kept it a pretty competitive game. So, I mean, yeah, Michigan's one of the best teams in the country. Michigan State is still probably going to get a 2 or 3 seed in the NCAA tournament in March Madness, but it all kind of depends on what happens in the Big Ten tournament. If they can obviously make a little splash, make it to the semifinal or final in the Big Ten tournament, then I can definitely see them getting the 2 or 3 seed.
Sorry about that, guys. Having a little technical difficulties, but now me and Gus are gonna give our picks on some of the big conferences and their conference tournaments. Plays have started. Before we jump into the big ones, let's talk about this MAC conference tournament. The biggest question mark of are they in the NCAA tournament just confirmed to me that they're out of the tournament. Miami, Ohio, 31-0 on the regular season, hosting UMass, lost in the first round of the MAC tournament, 87-83. They're out. They're not going to that tournament anymore. You're 31-0. That's a perfect regular season. We don't see that very often. I think 2 or 3 times that's ever happened. If it's happened only those 2 times, both those teams have made it to the NCAA tournament. I'm sure both those teams went further than the first round in their conference tournament, if
Yeah.
not maybe won the whole thing. Miami, Ohio losing in the first round to UMass. You ain't in the tournament no more. I'm
No.
sorry. That was your one chance in an auto bid. Maybe make the finals and lose in the finals, and you get put in because of your regular season. Losing in the conference tournament, you're not going to go any far.
No, no, and it's sad to see. I mean, those guys on that team must be super, super devastated. They had a bunch of close games, a bunch of buzzer beaters away and at home to get them to this 31-0 point. All those, like, I just feel bad for the seniors, man, going through that whole season, winning every single game, and then eventually leading to not even being in the NCAA tournament is I can't imagine that frustration and that pain that they're going through right now. But who did they lose to? UMass, you said?
UMass, yeah.
I believe that was like one of their closest games because they went to UMass. I believe it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they snuck out on like a 2 or 3 point win at UMass. So I don't want to say this doesn't surprise me, but still just sucks for them and that team.
Definitely. They put in the hard work. That just goes to show, man, you got to take a game at a time. I mean, you can be 31-0, but it's all about what's in front of you. And they lost first round. Definitely a surprise to the team. And like you said, feel bad for that entire team, the seniors, the coaching staff. But hey, that's the game for you, man.
That's
You
the
got to
way
move
it
on. Keep
goes.
your head up. Hey, go back to the drawing board. You guys got next season.
This is March. That's what
Correct.
happens in March. Anything can happen in
Yeah.
March.
But let's jump into these bigger conferences. We have some games going on right now as we're talking, and that's already happened. So if we miss a team or we give a team and they already lost, forgive us. This is recorded on Thursday at 4:54 p.m. Forgive us if a team's out by then. By the time you're watching this, Let's go first in the Big East. Gus, I got UConn taking the tournament. Um, I think they're going to get it done. I mean, I feel like they're a tournament team. They play better in the tournament than they do in the regular season. I don't see a team stopping them in that conference. What about you?
I'm gonna take St. John's here. I'm gonna switch it up. Take St. John's. This season they are 1-1 against each other. Um, St. John's went to UConn. I want to say, like I said, 2-3 weeks ago, and got blown out by I think 32 points at UConn. But the game that St. John's had won was at home. I'm not remembering the score of that game right now, but um, these two teams are very competitive. Big East teams, just in general, are very gritty defensive, 3-point shooting teams. And St. John's has been hot. I don't think they've lost a game since they lost that game to UConn at UConn. Um, and if they can, keep it going through this tournament, and maybe UConn even runs into a rock or two in the Big East tournament, and maybe gets booted because of their high horse right now. But I think St. John's is out for blood right now for sure against this UConn team. They're I believe the sixth best team in the country right now. And yeah, I'm gonna take St. John's. I'm a New York boy, so I'm gonna roll up my Johnnies.
Okay, all right, that's fair. That's fair. Let's go with the Big Ten next. I'm taking Michigan here. I mean, they were the number one ranked team for the longest time before they lost to Duke. Um, I don't see a team stopping them again. I mean, I feel like I'm picking the easy answers here, but sometimes the answers are right in front of you. It's going to be the best teams. Best teams that come out to play. I'm taking Michigan.
I hear you. I'm actually going to switch it up again for the Big Ten tournament. I'm going to take Nebraska here. Um, Nebraska did beat Michigan at home earlier this year, and it was a close game at Michigan this year. I believe that, or actually, Nebraska gave Michigan one of their first losses um, at Michigan this year. So I think they can compete with anybody in the Big Ten, to be honest. Nebraska went undefeated for I think the first 20 or so games until I'm forgetting who they had lost to, but this Nebraska team can, like I said, beat anybody in the Big Ten, and they've been pretty hot recently too. So I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna be different and take Nebraska here.
Understandable. Definitely. Let's shift our way to the SEC. And who do you got taking that one? I'll go second on this one.
I'm gonna take Florida. Florida is I'm gonna keep it pretty straightforward here. Florida is 16-2 in the SEC. One of their losses came at Missouri. Playing away in the SEC is just as hard as it gets, especially whether it's basketball or football. Those environments are not to be messed around with. Um, but yeah, the other loss was at home to Auburn. I believe it was like a 2 or 3 point game there. Just an off night for them. Auburn's not a very good team in the SEC or in general. I believe they had just lost either today or yesterday in the SEC tournament. But um, yeah, I think it was just an off night for them against Auburn. So yeah, I'm going to take Florida. They've been dominant all year long. We saw it last year. We've seen it the last few years with this Florida team, and I believe they're going to make a big run in the March Madness bracket as well this year.
For sure. I'm gonna stick with you. I'm gonna agree with you, man. I feel like I'm taking the easy way out, but I like Florida here, like you mentioned. I think I mean, they got it. They got all the pieces. They got the coach. They can do it. They're gonna. I mean, they made the run last year, but I also want to say my sleeper team. I don't know if you can call it a sleeper team for this SEC is gonna be Arkansas. I think Arkansas could have a chance of doing it. I mean, they're gonna. I think they would meet Florida in the final, so don't be surprised if Arkansas upsets them if the both teams make it there.
Cool.
And then last team or last conference, let's go ACC. I'm taking the obvious answer here, man. I'm being a cop out, selling out. Give me Duke, Duke by a long shot. The number one ranked team. They're gonna run wild. That pains you to say. I know it pains to hear it with UNC in the conference, but give me Duke all the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you for my record's sake here. I pains me that we don't have one of the best players in the nation on North Carolina's roster right now, out with an injury, Caleb Wilson. Um, yeah, and Duke's just, one of the top three teams in the country right now. Cam Boozer has been unbelievable this year. He's probably going to go and win College Player of the Year. They're definitely going to make a deep run in March, or at the end of March, I should say. Yeah, and the ACC is not very competitive whatsoever. Virginia is the 2 seed. I believe they're, a top 20 team in the country. I believe they're around 16 or 17 in the nation right now. But like I said, Duke is by far the number one team in the country right now, and they've played, very good teams this year. So I'm gonna have to go with Duke, even though if Caleb Wilson was healthy, I would definitely pick my UNC to upset them because it is hard to beat a team twice in the same year. So I would pick UNC, but I'm definitely gonna go Duke right here.
I would actually agree with you. I think if Caleb Wilson was playing and was healthy, completely different ACC tournament we're going to see. And I
Definitely.
might most likely take UNC there. But I think that's all we got for the NCAA and hoops news. I mean, we're going to fill you guys in as the brackets get busted, as the seeding gets placed for March Madness. I'm not sure. Would that be done by next week? You think, or no?
Yeah, Selection Sunday is this upcoming Sunday, and Thursday of next week is when the tournament play is going to start up.
All right. So with if everything goes to plan, we will have episode 9 up by maybe let's call it Wednesday of next week with Gus and I's pick of who we think is going to win. Some bracket busters, some Cinderella stories maybe, but looking forward to it, man. March is here. March hoops is here. But with that being done, let's jump into our segment, Good Dude and Bad Dude of the Week.
All right, we're gonna hop right into this good dude and bad dude of the week. My good dude this week is gonna be Andre Satoria. I believe that's how you pronounce his last name or his full name. This guy had just pitched in the World Baseball Classic for the Czech Republic, I believe, if I'm not saying that right, or one of those countries in the you know, in Eastern Europe that doesn't really have too much baseball talent. So this guy is doesn't play in the MLB, doesn't play in any minor league system. He is a electrician out of his country. That's what he does on a day-to-day basis. And he came out this year against Japan, who is probably the greatest World Baseball Classic team that we've seen so far this year. They've just been straight dominant. They went 4-0 in the qualifiers, and they're probably the heavy favorite to win the World Baseball Classic this year. And he went out during the qualifiers when they played Japan and pitched 4 2/3 scoreless innings, only allowing 6 hits and striking out 3 batters. Um, if you had watched this game, you could hear the announcers kind of getting emotional, and you could see that him on the field, he was getting emotional as well because, this is a one in a lifetime opportunity. Being an electrician every day, switching it up to going and facing Shohei Ohtani, one of the greatest baseball players of all time, is a pretty dramatic switch up. And I believe he was also in the 2023 World Baseball Classic as well. So, I mean, he's been here before, but he doesn't do this, every day. It's kind of like some of these, MLB players that, do this for a living. And that's my good dude of the week. He went out there and he pitched very well, scoreless innings against Japan. So, shout out to him.
That's awesome. My Good Dude of the Week is going to be pretty personal for my fandom of sports. It's going to be the general manager of my Washington Commanders, Mr. Adam Peters. I mean, he's done a couple of signings so far this free agency, and he said he's learned. I mentioned earlier he's learned from the past with the Terry McLaurin holdout, and I believe every signing that he's made, that the organization has made, has been a step up. I mean, 2 hours ago we brought in Rashad White. We just saw Austin Eckler went down early last season, and we needed our running game wasn't there. I mean, we have Bill, Ja'Cory Cross, Merritt, bringing in Rashad White, his ASU link up with JD5. I mean, I think it's going to change the organization. I think last year was not good at all. It was not successful at all. We had that great run 2 seasons ago, making the conference championship, and we were downhill from there. So these signings, I think it's a sign to look forward, sign to look good, and I don't think we're done here. So shout out Adam Peters for making me happy again with my fandom of Washington Commanders. That's all I got for him. I mean, he's a good dude this week, man. He's done well. But my bad dude, let's shift the tone of this, man. My bad dude is Bam Adebayo and Eric Spoelstra, the Miami Heat head coach, because those guys, man, that was the most sorry 83-point performance I've ever seen in my entire life. And I've only seen one 83-point performance, and it's his. And it's the worst one. I mean, this guy, his box score, he should have 120 points. He should have broke Wilt's record of 100 plus points. And Gus mentioned it. He's taking Wilt's game over this. Wilt's game's not even on film, and I'm taking it too. I mean, this game, I'll read off the box score for you guys. 83 points. He had 30 points after the first quarter. That's more impressive than 83 points. Any day of the week, I'm taking 30 points over this 83-point performance. 83 points, 42 minutes. He went 20 from 43 from the field, 7 for 22 from the three, 36 for 43 from a free throw line. I I think in our last semester, Gus put up 36 free throws at the intramural hoops at the courts. I mean, Gus was doing this. If Gus can do this,
That's my kind of stat line.
I mean, it, and this guy, like Gus mentioned, they were intentionally fouling the Washington Wizards to give Bam the ball so he can break Kobe's record. The Washington Wizards, the worst team in the league. I mean, it's like going to your local YMCA and playing hoops. That's what the Washington Wizards are. Those guys might sign a 10-day with the Wizards at the end of the week. I mean, there's some of the stat lines from I got on the list right now. The top 8 performances, including ties, regarding points per game or points in a game. Wilt's won, obviously. Kobe's 81. He went 28 for 46, 7 for 13 from three. Same amount of made, 9 less taken. Shout out Kobe. And 18 from 20 from the free throw line. In a win, 122 to 104 against the Raptors. I didn't even mention that on Bam's stat. They won 150 to 129. What is that? 20-point game. He's still in the game. What are we doing? Let's jump backwards. Let's go Embiid's 70-point game. Embiid played 37 minutes that game. He played 3/4 of ball. Bam, he missed out on 5 minutes in a blowout win against the worst team in the league. I mean, it is asinine that this guy thinks that this stat in this game belongs in the history books. I think if you ask any NBA fan, casual or diehard, they would take the entire top 50, top 40 games, most points scored over this 83-point game, the way that this stat line is. And then another thing, why Eric Spoelstra, I'm probably butchering his name. I don't even care because this guy, he doesn't. I want him fired now. I don't like him. He said that he printed out when LeBron played for the Heat and he was a head coach. He printed out LeBron's 61-point box score on a piece of paper, and he lost in a house fire earlier this year. That's terrible. I mean, house fire, losing valuables, that sucks. And now he said that he's laughing because he now has this one. You're laughing at the GOAT? The GOAT's 61-point game, the most points scored in Heat history. That box score is better than this one. I mean, this game is terrible. I'm sick of Bam. He earlier in the week, like before this game, he was mad at the Heat organization because they're a play-in team. What? Yeah, I mean, look at the team. Look at the team you had. Your team sucks. Get better. Don't drop 83 points and put up 46 free throws. If he made like 3 more threes, so if he went 10 for 22 and made like 5 more or like 7 more free throws, he breaks Wilt's record. That would have been more impressive because we would have said, "Oh, he broke Wilt's record. We got a 100-point game on film." That would have been cool. But now you're fouling the Wizards with 20 seconds left in the game to get the ball back to go to the free throw line. That it was terrible. Bam, you're a bad dude. Eric Spoelstra, you're a bad dude. The Heat's, you're a bad dude. The Wizards coaches for not triple teaming this guy since the second quarter. You guys are bad dudes. The whole scenario is the bad dude of the week, especially Bam. I rest my case. I'm mad at that. It's asinining that people are promoting this to be such a game. And now Kobe's not number 2. I mean, the least you're going to get subbed out when you're at 81. Tie Kobe. Show a little bit of respect to a Hall of Famer who tragically passed away about 6 years ago, 5 years ago, something like that. Show respect to him.
No. Yeah, I can agree. I don't really like the like I said before, it's not very ethical of Spoelstra to do that, and him, being in the league for however many years. He coached the big three down there with LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh, and he's been in the league for a while. And to do that, that kind of just sucks, man. That kind of just sucks. But I agree with you. I don't really like the Bam 83 points scored game whatsoever. But all right, let's move on to my bad dude of the week. It's going to be Mark DeRosa, World Baseball Classic manager for Team USA. And if you watched any of these past games that Team USA has played in during the qualifiers, you know that we had played Mexico, Italy, and I believe two other teams. I'm forgetting, but we beat Mexico, we beat the two other teams, and we had to beat Italy to further secure our spot in the World Baseball Classic and not have to worry about any other you know other scenarios that other teams had to go through. But Mark DeRosa during the I want to say it wasn't I don't think it was during the game, but after the game he had said that Team USA he had thought Team USA had already locked in a spot to advance to the actual bracket of World Baseball Classic, and that negligence is it's kind of frustrating, especially when you have a team like this, all-star bottom, top to bottom in the lineup, all-star upon all-star, Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer, coming out of your rotation, out of your bullpen. And this is probably one of the greatest Team USAs we've had in recent years. I know it's a lot better than the team we had 3 years ago. But yeah, that just negligence is kind of got me very heated, especially losing to a team like Italy, who has some very good ball players on it. They have a Coastal alum at their shortstop as well. And much respect to Italy. I mean, going out there and playing your heart out against a team like Team USA is it's nothing but respect for them. But just that mentality that Mark DeRosa had in the qualifying game against Italy, you just hate to see that. And we haven't won a World Baseball Classic since 2017. So it's been, I think, two separate time or three separate times that there's been a World Baseball Classic where we haven't won, including this one. Hopefully we do win. But, you just hate to see that negligence coming from your manager of a team that, is coaching all of these all-stars and future Hall of Famers. So Mark DeRosa is my bad dude of the week.
Understandable. Definitely. You don't want that out of your head coach to say think that they already made it through, and
No, no.
thank goodness we made it. I mean,
Yeah, thank goodness. Thank goodness. But I believe that wraps it up for episode 8 of the Gus and Dave podcast. We'd like to thank you guys so much for tuning in again. Like Dave said, we'll probably have a podcast up around sometime next week, Wednesday or Thursday. We'll have a lot more March Madness, predictions, and we'll probably post our brackets up somewhere. Um, but yeah, we also, like Dave said earlier in the video, we did just conclude an interview with Coastal Carolina Athletic Director Chance Miller, and I can just say wholeheartedly that that was probably one of the coolest moments of my life so far. So make sure you tune into that. Like I said before, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.